So the first definition I want to offer is the definition of measurement bias. Measurement bias refers to a systematic inaccuracy in measurement. And so there's two components of that definition to tackle. The first is that the error is systematic. It's replicable. It's not a random error. It's replicable every time and again. The second piece is it's inaccurate. The score that we're seeing is not demonstrative of the real amount of the attribute or the construct. For example, if we go back to our infrared thermometer one more time, we have both the blue glossy cup and the matte beige cup, and we know that they're holding liquid at 185 Fahrenheit. If we're using the thermometer on the matte beige cup and it's reading 195 Fahrenheit consistently, that means it's not an accurate measurement. So we're pouring 185 Fahrenheit water into our cup. It's reading at 195 every time. The fact that it's reading that every time means that error is replicable, and we know it's inaccurate because the temperature is actually at 185, not 195. Why does this matter? Could be anything, any example, but I gave you a generation difference again here. We observe a difference, let's say, between Gen X and Gen Y on a questionnaire about technology use. This result we could be seeing could be a real difference on technology use, or it could fail to be a real difference, and it could just be the way the scale is behaving, and our scale could just have measurement bias. Another definition I'm throwing out at you is an unbiased test or item definition, and this comes from the matching principle. So the idea here is that if we have two individuals or from different groups and they're identical on the facet being measured, the item or test is going to be unbiased in relation to the groups if the probability of attaining any particular score is the same for two individuals. The two individuals, though, have to be identical or matched on the facet measured. So let's say that my father-in-law, we're from different generations, but in this example, we have the same amount of the facet being measured. So our same amount of whatever construct it is identical. We have the same amount of anxiety, let's say. So the probability of attaining any particular score on a questionnaire for us should be the same if the item is unbiased in relation to generation for an anxiety test. An item is biased, though, if the probability for my father-in-law and I, with the same amount of anxiety, differs for us. We're matched. We're two matched individuals. And the item is biased if the probability of that item differs for the two of us because we come from different generations. So then the item is biased with respect to generation. So this is really extending the concepts in the last session here. And why does this matter? Well, this matters both psychometrically and because of this has ramifications for fairness. So we often see this come up in high stakes testing. Decisions because of biased results may penalize an entire group unfairly. So Millsap again says it best, a test or questionnaire that is designed to measure a given attribute should reveal differences among individuals if those individuals actually differ on the attribute. So in other words, a test for job skills should only measure a potential employee's ability to perform at a job. It should not be picking up things with respect to other group features. It should not be biased with respect to other group features. And you can see how you can extend this to the fact that these decisions based on measures that you make and administer, they can inform policy, they can inform resources, hiring, science, anything. So getting this right is important from an applied perspective. I have an example here that I kind of adapted from an intelligence test that I've seen. And the example was what color is an orange? And the item was something like, not identical, but it was ripe oranges are typically what color? And the key used by the test was orange. And what happened was temperate regions, they said orange, which might not be a surprise, but depends on where you are. And equatorial regions, many people actually answered green because ripe oranges often stay green due to chlorophyll retention in warm climates. And the reason this is unfair is that the cue is ecology, not the construct that the test was interested in measuring. And if we put on our measurement invariance hats, that means the baseline is differing by country. The item is functioning differently by country. So what can we do here? Well, we have to change this item probably. We have to ask about a different fruit, maybe ask about the interior color. Like we could ask what color is the flesh of a ripe orange or use a cut fruit image. But we can't keep this item as it is. And it's also psychometrically questionable, I guess, to see to ask, if an item is measuring differently depending on group, we have to ask ourselves, well, what is it measuring and what do you do? And oftentimes people find it easiest to remove items. We're going to talk about different strategies for this, especially in Module 4. But we also have to think about investigating why it exists. And this is very tricky. And there are entire areas called bias detection that are created to just understand bias and create hypotheses about sources of bias.